Hey everybody, welcome back to Terran's Books and Beyond and day 11 of VEDUS. For today's readings, I completed the 4th act of the Clone Army Attacketh, as well as the Certain Point of View story Not For Nothing by Moore Lafferty. This story is narrated by Ichabel Gaunt, and she's one of the members of the Cantina Band. It's also framed as an excerpt from her memoir, which I actually really liked because it gives her an opportunity to give some high-quality snark. She talks about how the band got stuck working for Jabba for a year because the leader had to pay off his debts, and then as soon as they got out of there, they got the Mos Eisley gig, so we actually are seeing their first performance at the Cantina in the movie. And we also learned about how they got into a short-lived feud with Greedo, because I don't think there's a single person in the galaxy who actually likes Greedo. Ichabel and the rest of the band only actually cross paths with the New Hope characters briefly, and they don't have much of an impact on the story, so mainly the story is just here to be funny, and it is quite funny actually, so I'm really happy to give it 5 stars. Now on the Shakespeare side of things, Act 4 has a lot of major events. The one that kicks it off is actually Anakin finding Shmi and then her dying in his arms. And unfortunately, she doesn't get any more monologues, which I was kind of hoping for because the one she had in episode 1 were quite good. However, we do get to hear Anakin's inner thoughts and turmoil, and the fact that we are privy to all of that stuff really helps make the scene much more effective and much more frightening than it was in the movie. Then as the act closes, we see Palpatine take control of the Senate thanks to Jar Jar, and this was a part I was really looking forward to because in this continuity, Jar Jar isn't stupid. He's just faking it. He's actually quite intelligent. So I really wanted to see how Ian handled this, to see how he would justify a very intelligent person like Jar Jar giving all of this power to Palpatine, even though it kind of goes against a lot of the stuff that he's been campaigning for in his own monologues. And the explanation actually makes a lot of sense, and it also helps the movies make sense, because you have to realize that in the movies, Jar Jar didn't know a lot about the background stuff and the back dealings going on. So when he gave Palpatine power, he just assumed that was the best thing he could do, because then he would be ensuring that we could skip all the bureaucracy that was leading to a lot of deaths on Naboo 10 years ago in episode 1. He could skip the bureaucracy and get right to fixing the problem. And a similar thing happens in here, except now we get to hear Jar Jar's thought process, and we get to see him say that he knows they want to use him as a puppet, but their actual end goals make a lot of sense. And were he to look in the future and see how this would impact stuff, maybe he would have a different decision, but based on all of the information he knows now and the situation now, the best decision is to get Palpatine the special powers so that he would be able to fast-track the clone army and help defend the Republic, because that was the issue at hand, and if they failed at that, then things were definitely going to get bad. At least with the army, they have a chance. That was his motivation the whole time. And so I'm now looking forward to see if Jar Jar pops up again in episode 3, where he sees what happens because of the clone army, sees what happens because of Palpatine having all this power, and he reflects back and wonders maybe he should have been a more proactive person. Maybe he should have dropped the idiot persona, and so he could be privy to all of this important information and make a more educated decision. But he didn't. That's the thing. So oh, it's gonna be real interesting how he handles that next time. Oh, and there's also another scene with the 2 random Jedi from the first episode where they have another meta conversation. This one is about whether anyone would be interested in watching these tales unfold in another galaxy far, far away. And one of the Jedi is like, this could totally happen. Like, what if people are interested in stuff? What if they want to get all the details right? And the other Jedi's like, psh! That's never gonna happen, man. No one cares about our stuff. They have no context. It has no impact on their lives, so why would they care about it? Well, joke's on you. And that's everything for today's update, but remember, if you want to keep watching me vlog every day until Star Wars, then you gotta hit that subscribe button so you can see every video as it shows up. You can also check out my Instagram for daily updates, or you can check out my Goodreads and see how I'm progressing through these novels. And until tomorrow, I'll see you all later.